Hey everybody, welcome to Strumming with Christopher. I'm Christopher Gallegos with Monterey County Free Libraries, Gonzales Branch. So, in the last episode we discussed jazz chords. Major 7th chord. Beautiful shape, you can move all up and down the fretboard. Okay, and today I want to talk about another kind of jazzy guitar approach. Now, jazz guitar, I may have mentioned this in the former video. Jazz is not a type of music that always has guitar involved. In a lot of cases, jazz is other instruments. Guitar is not center stage like it is for folk and blues, country, rock. But when jazz guitar does show up, it's very beautiful, very melodic, and there are some concepts you can take into your own playing. So today I'm going to talk about arpeggios. And arpeggio is just an Italian classical music term. Can't tell you the dictionary definition, but what it is, on the guitar at least, you strum a chord, various notes played at the same time, and in an arpeggio you play the notes of a chord, but you play them broken up in a sequence. So, strummed, all the notes, arpeggio. Okay? And this gives you a way to add a little melodic interest to what you're doing. And it's not like a scale where you have to improvise using different notes in the scale. The notes always stay the same. And the shape I want to show you today actually allows you to move all up and down the fretboard. Now, you've noticed I've emphasized that concept throughout our training just because a lot of people get stuck on these chords up here, these first position chords up here. And that's fine, but it's very powerful to have a tool that you can move up and down without having to learn to read music or get into really technical music theory. It's good to have options that are not that technical that are very powerful. So, here we go. So I showed you that A major 7th chord. Very beautiful sounding chord. Now I want to show you an arpeggio. And I'm not going to do the full arpeggio that goes all the way down. I'm going to use one that is basically the low E, the A, and the D string, these top three strings. That way you can have something you can just start experimenting with right away. Okay? So, again, we did the A major 7th chord as our bass example last time, based on the 5th fret. So now I want to show you this arpeggio pattern. So remember, it's not really a scale, it's the notes of a chord in a way that you can kind of move up and down. And I would suggest you use a pick for this. You can always go back to the episodes about picking. But basically, when you're playing the notes downward, from the low E down to the D, you want to try and think about going down with your pick. You can pick each individual note downward. You can kind of get this technique where the pick goes through the strings like butter. And then on the way up. Okay, so think about when you're playing these notes down from the low E to the D, picking down strokes, on the way back up, up strokes. So the shape itself is pretty simple, but let's see if we can get into this, all right? So for reference, headstock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look down, you'll probably see a little dot on your guitar at the 5, the 7, and the 9, and the 12. That'll help you. Okay, so this shape's going to start off using our middle finger. All right, and that's going to be fret 5 on the low E string. Okay, so that's note number 1, pick downwards. Okay, and the next note is going to be on the A string. It's going to be fret 4. Okay, and then a stretch of the pinky over to fret 7. So those are your first 3 notes. Okay. So, and then you're going to have your ring finger on the D string, fret 6, okay, and then pinky on fret 7, D string. So that's the shape. Major 7th arpeggio. And you can go back up in reverse. So let's do that again real slow so you can really get that in there. So 5th fret, middle finger. Okay, on the low E, and then A string, fret 4, then fret 7 with a pinky, and then the D string, you're going to have your ring finger, fret 6, and then fret 7 with a pinky, and then back up is going to be pinky, fret 7, D string, ring finger, fret 6, A string 7 on the pinky, A string 4 with the index, and then up to 5, middle finger. Okay, so that shape actually will move all up and down like all these other ones do. So you can do a lot with that. You can palm mute it. We talked about palm muting, where you have your palm down here near the bridge, muting that string. Combine it with a smooth downward pick, you'd get something like. You can play the chords like I did in the intro and the arpeggio afterwards. And the value of having something like that is you don't have to worry necessarily about scales if you want to play melodically. Okay, so now you have the major 7th chord shape and the major 7th arpeggio shape. Two very powerful tools that'll give you a taste of what jazzy sounding guitar is like. All right, and that'll give you something you can experiment with and have a shape that is powerful and allows you to put a little variety as you learn about jazz and other styles of music. All right, so give it a try. Thanks as always, everybody. See you next time.